Hi everyone, welcome to the Whiteleyverse with me, Connor Whiteley, for another daily story with a chapter from one of my novellas. Before I start today's chapter, please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithm. Also, if you want to buy this book and any of my other fiction, then they're all available from all major ebook retailers. You can order the paperback and hardback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore and local library if you requested. Also, if you want the AI generated audiobook, then you can get it from selected audiobook platforms and library systems like Kobo, Spotify, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, Baker & Taylor, Biblioteca and Overdrive. Now, here's today's chapter. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did writing it.
Chapter 2. The 20th of January 2023. Canterbury, England. Detective Graham Adams sat at his desk in his latest redeployment within Kent Police. As much as he enjoyed being a floater detective, so he wasn't stuck to any single department of the police, he really didn't like being in the Armed Response Unit. He hated guns, he hated shooting, he hated all of it. His desk was the standard black chipboard thing that all police detectives seemed to get assigned, but the people in the unit were wonderful, and some of the best guys he had ever had the pleasure of knowing. The bullpen was a large room with blood-red walls that Graham wasn't too sure he liked. He really appreciated the normal standard blue, white or orange walls of police departments, but red was just a little weird. The sweet aroma of donuts, roasted peanuts and hot dogs filled the air as the rest of the cops walked in wearing their tight t-shirts and trousers. Graham looked almost silly next to them. They were all shredded beasts that looked like they could rip through or kill anything. Graham was just a normal slim-built man in his early 30s. He had wanted to go to the gym again, but with all the twins, him returning to work one day a week, with a different department each week, and him not knowing where he stood in the structure of the bullpen, he just hadn't had time. As the 10 other members of the Armed Response Unit walked in and laughed and hit each other like they were in some American frat house instead of a professional police force, Graham just stared at the person in charge of the department. Raph Harris. He was a beast of a man with a perfectly smooth-shaved face, a blue gym t-shirt that was 3 sizes too small for him, and his biceps and 8-pack looked like they could be used as a washing board in case of emergencies. He was also a dick. Graham forced himself not to stare, no matter how much he didn't like the guy. Graham had been reading past reports involving Raph, and there were always bodies, innocent people died, and it always seemed to be black and Asian people and women that died. Graham had searched for a good hour, and hadn't found a single extra white male death in all 5 years' worth of reports involving Raph Harris. He was just looking forward to this being over. "Graham bro," Raph said, half stumbling and half walking over to Graham's desk. "Thanks for joining the team, mate. You're going to have a lot of fun shooting the criminals with us." Graham forced himself not to react. That was an outrageous comment. The job of an armed response unit was to help protect people, bring in criminals peacefully, and just defend the other cops at the scene. They flat out weren't meant to shoot the criminals, unless absolutely needed. "Whenever we get a call out today, I'll give you the honor of the first kill. I'm aiming for 100 dead criminals this year." Graham gulped and wanted to throw up so badly, but it was even worse that all the other people in the unit didn't care about what Raph was saying. Some of them were even smiling and nodding along. "I won't be killing anyone if I can help it," Graham said. Raph frowned and hit Graham on the back so hard that pain shot through him like a bullet as Raph went off to his bros. Graham really regretted taking that armed response training course a few years back. He had only done it because any cop with the training got paid an extra £1 an hour for no extra work. That was seriously biting him in the ass now. When he needed to get requalified, he wasn't taking the damn training, but it was weird how pro-gun and pro-killing Raph, considering that wasn't a normal attitude for armed response. Graham had worked with them a few times on different police operations, but they never said things like that before. Weird. Just damn weird. Graham's computer screen started flashing with a video call, and he answered it. It was his boss, Chief Inspector Donny, a large fat man with an awful beard. "Sir," Graham said, saluting him. "Calm down, Adams. I'm only checking in on you to see how you and that family of yours is getting on." "What bro? You gonna a family," Raph said, giving Graham an awful bro hug like they were frat brothers together. Graham was so looking forward to the end of the day. Donny frowned at Raph. "I was hoping to talk to Adams alone, you realize. I was talking to him, not you." Raph gave the chief inspector the middle finger and ended the video chat. Graham was just stunned. Something was seriously going on here and he had to find out what. A man with Raph's death record, sheer negative attitude towards life and stark disrespect for police hierarchy, didn't have a job like this unless something very bad was going on behind the scenes. Graham was about to ask a question when Raph's phone rang. Everyone went silent as Raph answered it. "Okay. Thank you, sir. We will be right there," Raph said, hanging up, but not looking like he was going to move or give a command. Graham looked at everyone, and he realized how they all looked like dogs waiting for a command. Raph started laughing, and still he didn't give an order. This was ridiculous, and lives could be in danger if they wasted any time. Graham stood up. He wasn't having this anymore. "Nothing really. Just some guys storming a bank with guys and taking hostages," Raph said like it was beneath him. Graham went straight up to Raph. He didn't even care if the idiot could snap him in half with the smallest move of his fingers. "What bank?" Graham asked. Raph had to actually think about it for a moment. "Just the Red Canterbury Bank." Graham frowned. That was the same exact bank Betty was at. Damn Raph. Damn his attitude. Damn this entire unit. Graham grabbed his keys and stormed out of the bullpen. If Raph wasn't going to save Betty and the others, then Graham was more than happy to do it alone. He wasn't letting the love of his life die today or any day for that matter.
Welcome back everyone, it's me again, Connor Whiteley. So I really hope that you enjoyed today's story, because I flat out love writing, creating stories and sharing them with you. If you really enjoyed today's story, then please remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new content, and the engagement really helps the Whiteleyverse with the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to buy this short story or any of my other fiction, then they're available from all major ebook retailers, and you can get them from your local library if you requested, and you can order the paperback copies from Amazon, your local bookstore or local library if you request it. Lastly, if you want to support the channel on a one-off basis, then you can now buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/Connor Whiteley. Also, if you know anyone who would enjoy today's story, then please share it with them. I'm always really grateful when you wonderful people help spread the word about the channel. So, thanks for watching the Whiteleyverse, and I'll see you again soon. Have a great day, everyone.